Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Let's find some shade so I can get these off and see you and you can see me, and that is a lot better. So work on the rock crusher continues. I've got the main eccentric shaft on the forks this morning, and I degreased this last night after I hauled these heavy pieces home, and today now I'll buff it down with the wire wheel on the grinder so that we can get a better idea of what we're looking at, and then I'll move on to the flywheels. They each need a thorough degreasing and then probably a light derusting of the critical areas, and then all should be ready to load and haul. But before we get into the work today, I've had a lot of the same question being posted in the comment section, and that is, what do you plan on powering this rock crusher with? Well, that's putting the cart a little bit ahead of the horse, considering I don't know for sure that we can bring this back to operation yet. But in the event that we do, I addressed that, albeit 2 years ago, in a rock crusher video, so I'm cutting everybody a lot of slack because it's been a while. But I say it a lot and I'll say it again: utilize the playlists. I've got the ACME rock crusher playlist on the channel here, and every episode from the start, which I think is like 7 videos at this point, so it's a really easy playlist to go back to the beginning and just bam, get completely caught up on everything that's happened from us pulling this crusher out of the rock quarry where I purchased it on auction, to the teardown, to where we are right here today. I think spring bugs are coming out. And yeah, third video in, I broke down in detail all the power requirement specs for the crusher and the machines that we have that could run it. And so it'd be a real easy one to, like I said, go back to the beginning and watch the whole story as it unfolds. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get to work. So first impressions, now that we have a mostly clean shaft, and I built a heavy duty cradle not only to lift it with, but to store it on, transport it on, makes life a lot easier. We've got wear in all the places that were expected, although like through here you can still feel the original machining marks on that shaft. Here's our thrust washers. I just left those in place. This was our worst side over here. This was something interesting too. This area here looks like, I'm guessing they knocked this shaft against something hard at some point, and they actually spalled some of the surface material off. And we have a second one right here. Now, my first impressions on a 300 RPM shaft that is housed on Babbitt bearings that are that wide and that thick is, that's just more oil capacity. But yeah, it's not great. It's not the end of the world. The eccentric, it has the usual amount of wear, but I haven't measured it for out of round, but there are no noticeable flat spots or divots in it. So that's the shaft. Now we start scraping on the flywheels. This is some old grease for sure. We don't have a lot for petroleums left in it anymore, but one thing I actually like is when they paint over heavy grease like that, it makes stripping the paint that much easier. It all comes right off. Heavy flywheel, heavy grease. The trusty solvent pan gets called into service once again. No job is too big. So I need to clean the insides of the pulley hubs, degrease them actually, because they picked up quite a lot of oil and grease from the Babbitt bearings just inside of them. But I noticed, or I found something unexpected. These aren't like solid bore pulleys on the inside. The center opens up. It's just kind of a solid ring on the outside here, and then another one down on the inside. So that's a rather interesting development. It's about as deep as the rest of, get out of the light, about as deep as the rest of the keyway is. So don't know if that's going to complicate repairs any, but it's something I noticed. Well, everybody, all three large pieces are done. And we started off with the sun over there this morning. It's now on the other side of the sky. Took all day, but I'm happy with how we got everything cleaned up. We can get a good look in there, actually do some measurements without, you know, getting all black and disgusting. And this is nowhere near a paint prep type cleaning, but it removed all of the real chunky stuff, the old dried on grease and the dirt that can fall off and get in machines and just cause problems. And plus they're a lot nicer to handle now. So typical 1920s era castings, lots of gas bubbles, lots of little pockets and anomalies. That just adds to the charm in my book. So I think I've had about enough for today. So I'm covered in grit. I'm gonna go get cleaned up, and I think I'll bring you all back tomorrow morning. So see you then. All right, there's our load, both flywheels, eccentric, everything's cradled in, strapped down, nice and solid. Should make the trip just fine. So I don't know what you all think about road trips. If you want to tag along, I'll just say this: if you do not like road trips, click away right now. If you are down for a road trip, train's leaving. Let's go.
State Park, next right.
You made many trips into that place over the years.
I've worked 14 years down here as an auto mechanic.
Okay.
Many trips down this road. Dropping down into the St. Croix River Valley area. Across the bridges, Wisconsin.
There's the border.
There's the border. St. Croix River, very popular canoeing river.
All right, pulled off in Danbury, Wisconsin. Just gonna make sure everything looks like it's all right yet. Nothing's moved. Everything's tight. Blocking's still good, still good. Yep.
Awful dry up here. Here's fire danger extreme today. Been a few fires around. Looks like there's got some browning going on in the trees up here.
Yeah, I see some black. They had a fire.
Looks like we have a fire here. Let's check that out.
Yeah, look, they dozed a fire line in right through here.
Well, there's fire line. Yeah, she got them pretty scorched. Few places at crown. Looking pretty black out there. Burned her pretty clean.
This was the time of year.
There's another fire line.
Yep, they had the fire brake plow in there.
Yep. Goes in there. Looks like somebody back. Oh, here we go.
Comes back out to the road.
Come around here again.
This is the time of year you used to have to work this.
Oh yeah, I did lots of this stuff. Got pretty hot spots.
Yeah, it burned pretty good through here.
Another fire line. Yeah,
We're out of
pretty
it now.
close to some structures here.
Gotta love the country roads that don't even paint a line down the center. And here we are. The old iron out front means we're in the right place. And just like that, here we are back at the red shed. It's the following day, and the parts drop off went very well yesterday at the machine shop. Some of you may already know who the machinist is if you were paying attention to the clues that I dropped there toward the end of the road trip. And we decided to not get too deep into details on the repair process of those flywheels as of yet, at least until we formulate a plan moving forward. So the machinist and I are just going to leave off right here with that flywheel repair. When we formulate a plan, and if we decide that those pieces are indeed savable, then we'll bring everyone back, and you all should be able to watch the process as it unfolds on YouTube as to the repair of those pieces. Another reason why we're just kind of holding off now and trying not to put the cart ahead of the horse is because that is going to be the make or break for this whole crusher. If for some reason those can't be repaired, this thing is yard art. So that's where we're leaving it for now. Please don't jump into anyone's comment section and start asking, do you have anything figured out? When is the repair going to begin? This probably isn't going to happen right away. So everyone just chill out, cool your jets, and when there is news to share, we will share it. So, path moving forward with the crusher. I'm going to keep on with the disassembly. We might as well get the main lever out and the big shaft out of the bottom. At that point, we'll have an empty casting. I will then jack it up and get it off of this nasty scrap iron I-beam skid that it's on. We'll get these old rotten timbers out from under it. How they're even holding this up anymore, I don't know. And probably get it down onto some decent new wood skids and look at possibly even getting it into the red shed where it can be stored under cover. So 2-3 episodes left on the rock crusher, I would say, and then after that we're waiting on repaired flywheels and main shaft before we invest too much more into what is very much a question mark project yet at this point. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. When there is more progress to share on the crusher, we'll bring you all back. Like I said, lever will be coming out next. And I guess just thank you for watching. We'll wrap it right here. Tune in next time, everybody.